when you cry, all day, all night, from sunrise to the sunset. When the sun goes to sleep, they can say what they like.
You've done the hard work, the analysis, the selection. It's all going according to plan. Until City miss a sitter, and you miss your multi-bet by one. Miss your multi-bet by one, and we will return up to 20 times your stake. We've got your back, even when City don't.
Are you a fast better?
Roy, what are you working on?
I'm just trying to make sure I play my part for our country's future.
What are you talking about, man?
The Electoral Commission of Zambia is conducting voter registration exercise for all eligible Zambian citizens. The current voter's card will not be used in the 2021 general elections. Both first-time voters and the ones that already have voters' cards from previous voter registration exercises will need to register to obtain new cards in order to vote in the 2021 general elections.
So, do you mean I won't be able to vote in the 2021 general elections if I don't register?
No, boy, you will not be able to vote.
Register to vote. It's your right. This message is brought to you by the Electoral Commission of Zambia.
For the most accurate and balanced news, we are a credible and trusted news source. We are KBN Television. Catch us live on Topstar Channel 102. And remember to like our page KBN TV on Facebook for all breaking news. KBN, the finest television.
Good evening and welcome to tonight's main news. To present it, my name is Petty Chanda. The headlines. PF says it will not adopt any civil servant for 2021 elections. Sean Tembo calls for the restoration of the impeachment motion against President Lungu in Parliament. A political activist says there's need to have law that would make politicians to review source of funding. And in foreign news, volunteer dies as hopes fade for trapped Zimbabwe miners. In sports news, Wolves striker has surgery of a fractured skull after David Luiz head clash. And now the main news in detail. Patriotic Front Secretary General Davis Mwila says the party will not entertain any civil servant who will go against government's directive to resign from public office if interested to contest in the 2021 general elections. Mr. Mwila says civil servants wishing to contest in the 2021 elections have until today to resign as civil servants in order to be eligible. He says the call for the civil servants to resign is to protect the impartiality of the public office in delivering service before and after elections. Mr. Miller has therefore called on civil servants who wish to participate in the 2021 elections to resign today. He further disclosed that the party will continue to engage the Electoral Commission of Zambia, ECZ, on the slow pace of the voter registration exercise. Mr. Miller has since encouraged citizens to make it a priority to register as voters so they can exercise their rights to vote in 2021.
The general public that will continue with our stakeholder engagements with the Electoral Commission of Zambia with regards to the voter registration process in order to address the slow pace of the process. Meanwhile, I wish to encourage our members countrywide and the sympathizers of the Patriotic Front and the general public to make it their priority to register as voters. Voting is a key ingredient of democratic governance. Therefore, it is important that all those who are eligible to vote take time to register. The second issue is on civil servants who intends to contest. I wish to inform the general public that following the guidance or the circular given by the government of the Republic of Zambia, that all civil servants and public service officers, including those serving in foreign service, foreign mission, quasi-government, grant-aided institutions.
Meanwhile, the PF Secretary General disclosed that the party has made a lot of progress regarding the holding of party elections, with only Northern and Luapula provinces remaining. He disclosed that so far constituency and district elections have been held successfully in Southern and Western provinces, which will be followed by provincial conferences scheduled for next month, after which a decision will be made as to when the General Conference will be held.
2020 as advised. That is tomorrow. The Patriotic Front will not entertain any civil servant or public officer who will not comply with government directive. This is intended to protect the integrity and impartiality of the public service as it implements government programs before, during, and after elections. The third issue that I want to talk about is the progress that we've made on the inter-party elections. We've gone to Southern Province, we've done the constituency and the district, and also Western Province, we've done the constituency and the district. So within next month, we are going to hold provincial conferences in the two provinces. Then we will just remain with Northern and Luapula. Thereafter.
Today marks the deadline for civil servants wishing to join politics to resign, according to a circular by Secretary to the Cabinet Simon Miti. National Arts Council of Zambia Chairman Patrick Samwimbila has today resigned from the civil service to join politics. He has since pledged his allegiance to the Patriotic Front Party under the leadership of His Excellency President Edgar Lungu. Mr. Samwimbila says he has decided to join politics in order to participate in the governance of the country. He says he wants to participate in the debates on issues surrounding the governing of the country, as he has acknowledged many issues. He announced his resignation to the media in Lusaka today.
What is my next move now that I have resigned from the civil service today? I want to assure you that I have one task that I want to deliver. I have one task that I want to carry. And this I'm announcing, and that publicly it starts today. You know, in my silence as a civil servant, I have followed with sadness some malicious debates and attacks on a man who has against all odds transformed the face of Zambia. And this is no other than the President of the Republic of Zambia, Dr. Edgar Lungu. He has done massively, very, very well in the short time he has been at the helm of leadership of this nation. And therefore, today, I have resolved not to keep quiet anymore while I see or while I hear people misleading the Zambian people.
Mr. Samwimbila says he has resigned from public service as guided by the Secretary to Cabinet. He, however, says he will not contest in any position in the 2021 elections, but indicated that he will be mobilizing for the Patriotic Front Party.
I am not yet decided to run for any office 2021, but I am decided to mobilize Zambians, to join the mobilization teams for the PF, to mobilize votes for President Lungu. That is my assignment number one. And why that assignment? Believe you me, this is a man I have liked. He doesn't know me personally. I don't know him personally. But just from the professional point of view, and from the way he has done matters, and from the way, as a Christian, I'll tell you, from the way he ascended to that throne. I'll repeat, 2014 into 2015, it was not an easy period for the PF. But just how President Lungu ascended to the throne, all of you, I think you've never answered that question. And that is the same man that we feel should still carry the mantle of leading the Zambians.
Secretary to the Cabinet, Dr. Simon Miti, advised all public officers, including those in foreign missions, grant-aided institutions and state-owned enterprises who have ambitions to participate in the 2021 general elections, to resign before 30th November 2020. Political activist Dante Saunders says it would be gratifying to have a law in place that would compel politicians to review their source of funding. Mr. Saunders says in countries where democracy is highly appreciated, political parties do review where the money politicians use come from. He says Zambia should emulate South Africa, where members from both the opposition and the ruling party can disclose names of funders. Mr. Saunders has also said it is important to know where the money is coming from because in some instances, funds can come from institutions involved in money laundering. He has, however, stated that the current political situation in the country is not conducive for source of funding to be reviewed. He alleged that once a company is said to be aligned with the opposition, it is scrutinized by institutions such as the Anti-Corruption Commission and Zambia Revenue Authority, among others.
Democracy seems to be working and is working. It becomes very important that every political party discloses where the funds is coming from. That is quite in order. And in Africa, we are already seeing South Africa, for instance, being in a position to disclose where the monies are coming from. Very difficult. That's why, we would welcome it, but it must be open to all. And above all, we must ensure that companies are protected, like it is in South Africa. In South Africa, it's not unusual for ANC to come to Dante Saunders. I just check in my notebook. Oh, yes, I have an envelope for you. Yes, for ANC. Check in my notebook, Julius Malema comes, the DA comes, you give them all something. But in Zambia, you try that, my friend, your company is closed the very next day within 24 hours. Revenue authorities upon you. Not only Revenue Authority, ACC, DEC, and you name it is on you. You'll find yourself even in court. So we have to, that should be enshrined in the Constitution. I would welcome it. But this government is not a government that can work with such a thing. But it would be a very good idea if we can.
Patriots for Economic Progress President Sean Tembo has called on the Speaker of the National Assembly to restore the impeachment motion against the Republican President Edgar Lungu. The impeachment motion was first tabled on 18 March 2018, but was adjourned due to a pending legal matter at the High Court. Mr. Tembo says, given the facts that the pending legal matter has since been concluded, the Speaker of the National Assembly no longer has any legal or moral basis to continue keeping the impeachment motion in abeyance. He says the motion should therefore immediately be restored to the order paper so that it can be debated on the floor of Parliament and concluded. Mr. Tembo says Zambia is a nation of laws and therefore the Speaker should ensure that the rule of law is upheld in the conduct of parliamentary business. He says if President Lungu is confident that he did not commit any impeachable offense, then he needs not to worry or panic, as he shall surely be exonerated through an acquittal.
As Patriots for Economic Progress, we have noted the recent calls by various sections of society for the restoration of the impeachment motion on the order paper in Parliament, which was first tabled on the 18th of March 2018 against President Lungu. Our view is that that impeachment motion was adjourned primarily because of a legal matter that was brought before the High Court. And now, given the fact that that legal matter has been concluded, we believe that there is no other reason or excuse that can be used to keep the motion from being tabled before the floor of Parliament so that it can be debated and concluded. It must be noted that Zambia is a nation of laws, and basically we need to respect the rule of law. If there is a motion that has been tabled, such a motion has to be debated, and if it is defeated, then so be it. But it needs to be.
You are watching KBN News. We take a break. Don't go away.
It's time to Tengamo with Topstar and save up to 100% on your viewing. Get value, massive discounts and more content for less. Starting 15th November, maintain or upgrade your current bouquet to enjoy the Tengamo offer. As a DTT subscriber, pay 2 months 100 kwacha for Nova and get upgraded to 2 months basic. Pay 2 months basic and get upgraded to 2 months classic. And when you subscribe 2 months on the classic bouquet, you get 10 days of extra viewing. For DTH subscribers, pay 2 months for Nova or Smart and get upgraded on the next higher bouquet. And 2 months payment on the Super Bouquet earns you 10 days of extra viewing. Subscribe now and enjoy great football, exciting series and educative kids content only on Topstar. Topstar, enjoy digital life.
Ufulu wanzika zonse za dziko la Zambia kuteka kumbali kuvota kulembetsa kwa bungwe la Electoral Commission of Zambia kuteka kumbali pa masankho a chaka cha 2021 kuzambika pa tsiku la 9 Novemba kufika pa tsiku la 12 December chaka chino cha 2020. Nzika zonse za dziko la Zambia zomwe zili ndi chinkhope cha Green National Registration Card zifunika kukhala ndi zaka 18 ndizopitirira ndiponso azakwanitsa zaka zobadwa 18 pa tsiku la 9 May chaka cha 2021 kapena pomwe tsikuli likalibe kufika ndi ololedwa kulembetsa ngati woteka kumbali kuvota pa masankho mchaka cha 2021. Ngati simulembetsa ndiye kuti simuzavotako pa masankho a chaka cha 2021. Lembetsani kuvota ndi kutenga khadi yatsopano. Kumbukirani kuti makhadi akale ovotera sazagwira ntchito pa masankho a 2021. Lembetsani kuvota ndi ufulu wanu. Lembetsani kuvota mu ufulu wanu. Utenga uyu wachokera ku bungwe la Electoral Commission of Zambia, ECZ.
Here's my good friend Joseph. This is his world. Here he makes all the calls, pays close attention to every corner, to every finish, to the top of each and every table. He's got a real feel for it. Oh, you thought I was talking about furniture, did you?
Welcome back. Thank you for still staying with us. We continue with the main news. The United Party for National Development has bemoaned what it terms as arrogance in dishing out money by Patriotic Front members. Recently, PF Kwacha Member of Parliament Joe Malanji recently told a named newspaper that he did not owe anyone an explanation as to where the source of his money is coming from. UPND National Youth Chairman Likando Mfalali says Mr. Malanji's statement is a sign of lack of accountability. He says it is disappointing that the huge cash donations are being made when the country is facing economic challenges.
However, the PF donations, or lack thereof, have unfortunately caused a colleague of theirs, Bahati constituency member of parliament, Charles Chale, trouble. Visiting his constituency in Mansa recently, in Mansa district recently, we realized that Mr. Chale was accosted by angry constituents because he had gone there without the kind of cash other ruling party MPs have been dishing out in their respective constituencies. For not sharing the spoils which to them appeared to be the benefits of being an MP. The people of Bahati, mostly PF members, accused Mr. Chale of being stingy. The lawmaker was in shock when the electorate demanded 50,000 kwacha, which he claimed he did not have. This earned him some thorough beating. The cadre did not believe him because their colleagues in other constituencies were awash with cash. Joe Malanji, who has made huge material and cash donations to his constituency, recently told news diggers that he did not owe any explanation to anyone regarding.
The Buses and Taxi Owners Association of Zambia has urged its members to continue reporting incidents of extortion from thugs manning bus stops to the police. The association's sentiments come in the wake of harassment of conductors and bus drivers by callboys whenever they want to pick up passengers. Lusaka branch treasurer Matthew Nkoma says reporting to the police would send a message to the cowboys that what they are doing is a criminal act. Mr. Nkoma says the vice has been happening everywhere, adding that there are some cases which are currently in the courts of law. He says drivers of commuter vehicles have suffered at the hands of the cowboys. He says for the criminal act to stop, there's need for a concerted effort from passengers, bus drivers and the law enforcers.
We have received a number of such complaints. And, you know, we are border on actually, it's not really per se as a complaint, actually it's criminality, if I can put it that way. It's extortion of money by force. And that those complaints indeed we have received them. There are a number of them. Others, as I'm speaking, they are currently before the courts of law. We had certain cases which have been going to as far as to the courts of law. They are being prosecuted by the police. Now I've known that those who misbehave, that now the buses and taxis owners, they take such cases keenly and follow them to the latter. It has happened everywhere. But as long as now there's some things which are being done to try to alleviate that, a message is being sent even to the so-called cowboys that this thing we are doing is wrong. These people are now, we are being prosecuted.
In foreign news, a volunteer has died while trying to rescue illegal miners trapped underground since Wednesday in Bindura, northern Zimbabwe. The state newspaper, The Herald, reports that over the weekend, a boulder rolled down onto a man, pushing him into water near the shaft opening that rescuers have battled for days to drain. His body was retrieved on Sunday. The efforts of Zimbabwe's mine ministry, local mining companies and illegal miners have been hampered by inadequate machinery and breakdowns. Family members who have camped at the site for days are losing hope. It's not clear how many miners are trapped, but officials say the number could be over a dozen. On Wednesday, a mine pillar collapsed following a rockfall that might have been triggered by illegal miners blasting inside a disused shaft. Illegal mining has increased in Zimbabwe as a result of economic problems and high unemployment. And finally, in sports news, Wolves striker Raul Jimenez has had surgery on a fractured skull suffered in a clash of heads during his side's Premier League win at Arsenal. Sunday's match at Emirates Stadium was in its early stages when Jimenez and Ghana's defender David Luiz accidentally collided at an Arsenal corner. He was given oxygen on the pitch before being taken to the hospital. Wolves said in a statement that Raul is comfortable following an operation last night. The game was stopped about 10 minutes to allow Jimenez, 29, to receive treatment before he was carried off the pitch on the stretcher. With that item, we conclude tonight's main news, but before we go, the headlines once again. PF says it will not adopt any civil servant for 2021 elections. Sean Tembo calls for the restoration of the impeachment motion against President Edgar Lungu in Parliament. A political activist says there's need to have law that would make politicians to review source of funding. Volunteer dies as hopes fade for trapped Zimbabwe miners. Wolves striker has surgery on fractured skull after David Luiz head clash. On behalf of the production team, this has been Petty Chanda saying goodbye and enjoy the rest of their programming.
Balanced news. We are a credible and trusted news source. We are KBN Television. Catch us live on Topstar Channel 102. And remember to like our page KBN TV on Facebook for all breaking news. KBN, the finest television.
Hey Z.
What's up, Bissy?
Let me show you something so cool you can now do online.
Oh, really?
Go to your browser, type in ovr.elections.org.zm. Click on sign up, enter your first name, then last name, your mobile phone number, re-enter your mobile phone number, enter your NRC without the slashes, re-enter your NRC without the slashes, then click on sign up. You will then receive a text message with a 4-digit OTP number.
Yes, got it.
Enter your 4-digit OTP number and click confirm. Create an 8-character password. Re-enter your 8-character password, click confirm. Secure your login by entering your NRC number without slashes. Enter your password, click login, and there you are. You have your personal account.
Wow, now that's cool.
You can now enter your personal details, choose voting location, upload your NRC, then upload a photo of you holding your NRC, and confirm your details, then click finish.
Register to vote. It is your right.
Visit ovr.elections.org.zm now and pre-register today. This message is brought to you by the Electoral Commission of Zambia.